Good afternoon. This is the 5FM Radio headlines. Opposition Democratic Union Party leader optimistic after by-elections performance. IPAC criticizes Chinese embassy's response to documentary on investment practices. Frank Caprio, nicest judge in the world, dies aged 88. This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie. The Opposition Democratic Union DU party leader Akim Njevu has expressed optimism about the party's future following its participation and good results outcome in the recent Pambashe by-elections, barely a month after the party's registration. Speaking when he featured on the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue program, Mr. Njovu has said it is both exciting and progressive that the party managed to contest in the Pambashe and Petauke by-elections. He adds that the Democratic Union Party will also take part in the forthcoming local government elections in Northern and Luapula provinces.
But finally, we managed to get our registration. Of course, it was quite frustrating, but later on you realize that it's part of the process. Into the new system.
Absolutely.
Then 2 months later, we launched the party on 4th of December 2024. And after a month later, again, we managed to participate in by-elections in Pambashe and in Petauke.
And how did you fare?
Yeah, in Pambashe, we came out third. Then in Petauke, we didn't do so well because Tonse got our candidate. The same candidate who won was part of our team. But because of their financial muscle, they managed to snatch them from us. So we are excited and happy that we managed to participate in by-elections and did so well. I think for us, it was a message, that seems to be resonating well with the people.
Meanwhile, Mr. Njovu has stated that in the years ahead, he envisions Zambians having greater control over the country's means of production, with ownership resting in the hands of the citizens. He has emphasized that the Democratic Union Party was founded with the goal of uniting Zambians under one vision for national progress.
If I look at Zambia in so many years to come, first of all, I'm looking at a country that I think the means of production to be in the hands of Zambians. I've had the blessing of working for two multinational companies. I've acquired certain things. I think for me, it wasn't even working. It was learning from these multinational companies. But ultimately, I'm looking at a Zambia where the means of production are in the hands of the Zambians. Then I also want to see that after a certain period or in our tenure, if God gives us that opportunity,
the Acton Institute for Policy Analysis Center, IPAC, has expressed deep disappointment over a recent statement purportedly issued by the Chinese embassy in response to a documentary on Chinese investment in Zambia released by investigative news outlet News Diggers. In a statement, IPAC Executive Director Solomon Ngoma commends News Diggers for their journalistic integrity and coverage in exposing critical issues related to Chinese investment in the country. However, Mr. Ngoma has raised concern over the embassy's response, stating that it failed to address the legitimate concerns raised by various stakeholders in the work of the documentary's revelations. He says that the lack of substantive engagement with the issues presented is troubling, as it suggests a disconnect between the embassy's narrative and the lived realities and concerns of many Zambians. Mr. Ngoma adds that while emphasizing Zambia's appreciation for Chinese investment and the long-standing bilateral relationship between the two nations, of adherence to local laws and norms, IPAC has called on the Chinese embassy to guide and counsel its investors of respecting the country's legal frameworks, regulations, and cultural values. The organization also urges the Zambian government to take a proactive role in engaging both the embassy and relevant stakeholders to address the ongoing challenges associated with Chinese investment.
We are deeply disappointed with the recent statement from the Chinese embassy regarding the documentary on Chinese investment in Zambia shared by News Diggers. We commend the News Diggers for their bravery and the journalistic integrity in bringing this important issue to right, shedding light on the interests of Chinese investment in Zambia. However, we are concerned that the embassy response failed to address the legitimate concerns raised by stakeholders regarding the documentary's deliberations. The lack of substantive engagement with the issues raised is troubling and suggests a disconnect between the embassy understanding of Zambia's concerns and the reality on the ground. While Zambia welcomes Chinese investment and values the bilateral relationship with China, it is essential for Chinese investors to respect and adhere to the Zambian laws, particularly those related to environmental protection, labor laws, and human rights. The Zambian people.
The Lusaka City Council (LCC) has continued its crackdown on illegal structures, demolishing additional makeshift constructions along Moso-Tunya Road and Tokyo Way. According to LCC Assistant Public Relations Manager Bulumba Nyambe, the latest operation was carried out last night in a joint effort between Council Police and State Police. Conducted between 18 hours and 23 hours, the operation led to the removal of 8 illegal mobile money booths along Moso-Tunya Road and 1 makeshift structure along Tokyo Way. Mr. Nyambe further reveals that a similar exercise took place on Sunday, August 17, 2025, during which 34 illegal structures were dismantled along the same stretch, including a car wash near High Life, off Ring Road and Tokyo Way. He notes that prior to the demolitions, the council had issued multiple warnings and enforcement notices to the owners of the illegal structures. However, these directives were ignored, prompting the local authority to take firm action to restore order and ensure that all business activities in the area are conducted legally. Mr. Nyambe states that the council is intensifying its monitoring, inspections, and surveillance efforts across the city to curb all forms of illegal with the Regional and Urban Planning Act Number 3 of 2015. He urges Lusaka residents to report any illegal structures being erected in undesignated areas within their communities to enable swift enforcement by the council.
The Lusaka City Council, working in conjunction with the state police, conducted a night operation yesterday, demolishing 8 illegal mobile money boats along Moso-Tunya Road and 1 makeshift structure along Tokyo Way. This follows a similar, operation that we conducted on Sunday, 17th August, where 34 illegal makeshift structures were, dismantled. And, despite issuing warnings and enforcement notices to, traders, they then refused to comply with the directive, leaving us, with no option but to simply move in and, correct the situation. Going forward, as the council, we want to ensure that we intensify in terms of monitoring and surveillance to curb all illegal, construction across Lusaka, as mandated by the Regional and Urban Planning Act Number 3 of 2015.
Operation Young Vote (OIV) has warmly welcomed and commended the Minister of Community Development and Social Services for her thoughtful and inclusive remarks regarding the deferred NGO bill in Parliament. In a statement issued, OIV has expressed appreciation for the minister's recognition of the need for a collaborative approach to ensure that the legislation is fair, inclusive, and reflective of all stakeholders' views. OIV Executive Director Ges Nyirenda says the minister's acknowledgement of the importance of inclusivity in the legislative process is both encouraging and commendable. He emphasized the need for all stakeholders to work together to produce legislation that is just, comprehensive, and representative of all voices within the sector. Mr. Nyirenda states that it is also gratifying to note that in addressing concerns raised by NGOs and bill, the minister recognized the need to address all issues brought forward by civil society organizations, acknowledging their indispensable role in national that the bill rightfully belongs to them. Mr. Nyirenda urges those tasked with initiating specific actions towards finalizing the bill to remain proactive and avoid rather unnecessary delays that could derail progress. He further calls on all NGOs, civil society organizations, practitioners, and other stakeholders to remain alert and engaged with the process from the onset to avoid last minute rushes and ensure that no one hopefully attempts to undermine the progressive direction the minister has taken. OIV remains confident that a united and inclusive effort will lead to legislation that not only supports but strengthens the work and impact of NGOs and civil society organizations in Zambia.
Operation Young Vote OIV warmly welcomes and commends the Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Honorable Doreen Mwamba, for her thoughtful and inclusive remarks regarding the matter of the deferred NGO bill in Parliament. OIV appreciates the Minister's recognition of the need for a collaborative approach to ensure that the legislation is fair, inclusive, and representative of all stakeholders' views. OIV therefore recommends that all individuals.
And in other news trending this afternoon, Tonse Alliance National Youth Chairman Celestine Mukandila has emphasized the crucial role artisanal miners play in driving Zambia's economy. The Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company has intensified efforts to tackle persistent water supply and sanitation challenges in the capital through immediate interventions, institutional reforms, and long-term investment planning. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Mupapa Wood founder and Chief Executive Officer Ruth Chande has expressed gratitude to the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, for its support towards the company's growth and capacity building. Ms. Chande has disclosed that Mupapa Wood has expanded its workforce from 8 employees at inception to 43 currently, reflecting the positive impact of the partnership. She has further highlighted that the company has signed a memorandum of understanding MOU with Lusaka Vocational Training Center to ensure students are given intensive practical training in woodwork and related skills. According to Ms. Chande, JICA has also provided vital support in areas such as business management, record keeping, and financial literacy, which has strengthened the company's operations. She has revealed that Mupapa Wood has also been privileged to showcase its work at the ongoing TICAD 9 conference in Yokohama, Japan, giving the company international exposure.
We started the JICA program and has continued. And today we are 43. So there's been a significant increase in our labor force. We've also during that time signed an MOU with the college to upscale their company education training. So we are taking on students from them after they've done their theory work at the college, and we're doing them principal work for this topic. Because I think we are lucky in this area. The topic looks has a long journey.
Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, U.S. celebrity judge and social media star Frank Caprio has died aged 88, his family has said. His death following a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer was announced on his official Instagram account, where he was remembered for his warmth and unwavering belief in the goodness of people. David Caprio, his son, thanked fans for their love and support and urged people to spread a little kindness in his father's memory. Beloved for his compassion and humor in the courtroom, videos of Judge Caprio presiding over cases on his hit show Court in Providence have had billions of views on social media, earning him the title the nicest judge in the world. And in sports news, manager Brendan Rodgers insists the failure to strengthen Celtic's squad for their Champions League playoff with Kairat was not his decision and concedes that he has to accept where it's at. The Scottish champions, heavy favourites to progress, were listless in being held to a goalless draw by their Kazakhstan counterparts. Now that they must travel more than 3,500 miles for next Tuesday's second leg, just short of the Chinese border, knowing they need a far better showing if they are to return to the top table of continental competition this season. Celtic have recruited 7 players this summer, paying fees for Benjamin Nigrin, Hayato Inamura, Shin Yamada, and Callum Osman, with Kieran Tierney and Rose Dohan arriving on freeze and Jamai Simpson Passy on loan. And now, the weather.
Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Eastern, Muchinga, Northern, and Luapula provinces, including the eastern parts of Central Province, partly cloudy and warm to hot. Maximum temperature is ranging between 26 degrees Celsius and 31 degrees Celsius. The evening will be windy at times and mild with few clouds. Northwestern, Western, Southern, Lusaka, and Copperbelt provinces, including the western parts of Central Province, mainly sunny and warm to hot with maximum temperature ranging between 27 degrees and 32 degrees Celsius. The evening will have clear skies, windy at times, and mild to cool. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The opposition Democratic Union Party leader Kim Jovu has expressed optimism about the party's future following its participation and good results outcome in the recent Pambashe by-elections, barely a month after the party's registration. The Acton Institute for Policy Analysis Center has expressed deep disappointment over a recent statement purportedly issued by the Chinese embassy in response to a documentary on Chinese investment in Zambia released by investigative news outlet Newsdiggers. And finally, US celebrity judge and social media star Frank Caprio has died aged 88, his family has said. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.